law and order, you've got police, you've got government. There was no government. There were a bunch of corrupt politicians, a bunch of corrupt desperate criminals, committing crime against humanity. So to grow up in this type of environment, you should not be very surprised, that a child of that environment decided to go buy guns. It's not like, if I grew up in California, let's say in San Diego, then all of a sudden I decided to become a gangster and go buy guns. It's idiotic. But for that region, it's normal. Actually, when you have the gun, and the only language of the street is the language of the gun, then you fit right in. Today looking back, of course, it was idiotic because I could have been killed easily. I was not that far actually from getting in real trouble. The guns got me in trouble. They got me in prison, and I spent 16 months in Israeli prisons. I was tortured. I was beaten up by soldiers. I was deprivated from sleeping for months. I was tortured mentally and physically. That I still have marks on my face from that torture. So basically, I got in trouble. But all this trouble of my life, whether prison time, Hamas experience, in prison, outside prison, all those are things that just taught me the biggest lessons of life. Today, I praise life. I'm still alive. I fought, for my freedom, and I found a life against all the odds of existence. And it's such a blessing. When I look back, it's really scary. Just like to just remember the minefield that I was walking in. That you don't know. You could just step on a mine and that's it. But sometimes it's a blessing to go through a minefield, not knowing it's a minefield. And when you get out, then you realize it was a minefield. Otherwise, probably you would have not survived it.
Whose footprints are these?
A surveillance camera?
Snake, you'll never be able to get through the front door. Find some other way to get in. Snake, you'll never be able to get through the...
Whose footprints are these?
A surveillance camera?
Snake, your mission is to infiltrate, not to fight. Don't let the enemy see you. You didn't waste any time in getting spotted, did you?
Hi, I'm Nora O'Donnell, and this is Person to Person. Our guest today is Mitt Romney.
What a wonderful mix-up. We've all enjoyed together.
Mitt Romney represents Utah in the United States Senate. The 76-year-old was once the Republican Party's nominee for president, losing to Barack Obama in 2012. Brought up in the Mormon Church, Romney's faith has guided him through his entire life and political career. He considers his wife and his top advisor. A successful businessman, Romney was brought in to turn around the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. The success of the games led to a run for governor of Massachusetts. Now the man who was once the standard bearer of the Republican Party is a vocal critic.
Here's what I know. Donald Trump is a phony. A fraud.
Romney recently announced he would not seek re-election to his Senate seat. There's a new book about his life, Romney, A Reckoning. He gave hundreds of text messages.
System to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon. That base must have...
Emails and diary entries to journalist Kay Commons to summarize his 3 decades in politics. We sat down in Washington with
This
Nixon.
is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
There's no smell.
The cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell? Did something happen?
There's an intruder.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
He's killed 3 people?
Say he's using stealth, too.
Stealth? There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the chief.
Press the action button to drop down. Press the action button to drop. Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it. use it, first hold down the R2 button to enter weapon mode. Then select the weapon you want with the directional button. After you've selected the weapon you want, let go of the R2 button to exit weapon mode. The weapon you selected should appear in your hand. To use the weapon, follow the directions displayed in the window. If you use the R1 button, you can equip your weapon more quickly. While you're barehanded, press the R1 button to equip the last weapon you used. Press the R1 button while you're holding a weapon to be barehanded again. Don't fire your gun needlessly, or you might be discovered. If you had a gun with a suppressor, it would be a different story. If you have any questions about weapons or equipment, you should ask our military analyst, Nastasha. Her frequency is 141.52. Snake, didn't you hear that the DARPA chief was moved to a cell in the first floor basement?
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
You found out where the DARPA chief is. With his nanomachine transmitter, he should show up as a green dot on your radar when you get close. Try to find him. Come on, Snake, you can do it. You found out where the DARPA chief is. With and Robbie, born infinite, person-to-person conversation. Why did you decide to participate in this biography of you?
Well, at some point, I thought someone may want to write about my experience. I intended to do it myself, and then I recognized I can't be objective about my own life. But I may have gone a little overboard because I gave the author all of my journals. And now that I've read the book, it's like, oh, did I really say that about this person? Oh my goodness! So it's a little more revealing than I expected, but nonetheless, something you can learn about. I remember my dad when he lost his campaign for president in 1968. He said my campaign was like a miniskirt, short and revealing.
And if you had to sum up your career in politics, what would it be?
I'll let other people decide that. But I hope, in my own view, that my legacy with my children and grandchildren is that their dad and their grandfather fought for what he believed. Sometimes I was wrong. Sometimes my point of view changed because I was acquainted with new facts. But that I stood for what I believed was right, and that I had backbone.
Do you recognize your own party?
I'm in a tiny, tiny slice of my party now. I mean, I don't, in many respects, have a home in the Republican Party today. The party is much more populist. The party has attracted all sorts of folks who used to be Democrats and independents. They've come into the Republican Party drawn by a message of populism and, in some respects, resentment and anger. And I'm still a Republican because I want to bring us back to the kinds of values that have allowed us to succeed in the past. But we'll see where we go in the future.
Did you consider running again for president in 2016?
Oh, people in the Senate always consider running for president. I just got a message from one of my grandkids, a long message about why I should get in now. A very thorough analysis. It's absurd, of course, because I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you consider that, and not seriously in this case. In 2024, it's not something I seriously consider. But I've looked at different times. But the reality is, 2 strikes and you're out of politics, not 3.
You were quoted in the book as saying a very large portion of my party really doesn't believe in the Constitution. How did you come to that damning conclusion?
Well, when former President Trump said we should set aside the Constitution and reappoint him as president, why, you had Republicans cheer that. It's like, wait a second. this is the leader of our party saying we should put aside the Constitution. How can you believe you're following the Constitution if that's the case? It's an outrage. It violates the peaceful transfer of power, which has been characteristic of our country from the very earliest days. So, yeah, I think the evidence has been in pretty plain view for people across the country.
So how is it that Donald Trump, the leading candidate for the Republican Party for president?
I don't begin to be able to understand how it is so many people can accept the dishonesties that have been spoken by Donald Trump. I don't know how it is people go along with that, but they do. And I think in some respects it's like, well, there's our team and their team. We're going to cheer with whatever our team says and say that we believe it.
No way you'll run for president in 2024?
And I can't imagine any circumstance. Perhaps if Godzilla comes in and removes all the other candidates and so forth, but other than Godzilla stepping in, no, I'm not running for president. Not giving it any thought.
Not as an independent?
No.
No discussion about it?
Now, look, I really think that independent candidates are likely to elect Donald Trump. And I think him being elected again would be devastating for our country and its character.
Who do you like in the Republican field?
Anybody. I'd be happy to support virtually any one of the Republicans. Maybe not Vivek, but the others that are running would be acceptable to me, and I'd be happy to vote for. I'd be happy to vote for a number of the Democrats too. It would be an upgrade from, in my opinion, from Donald Trump and perhaps also from Joe Biden. Look, I like President Biden. I find him a very charming, engaging person. There's some places I agree with him, but most places I disagree with him. I think he's made all sorts of terrible mistakes. But I would like to see someone else run.
You've been chatting on the phone with President Biden recently.
He's kind enough to give me a call from time to time because we get along. And I offer my advice. He's the president of the United States, and I want him to be effective as long as he's there.
There are many in the Republican Party that not only say that he's too old to be president, but that he lacks the mental capability. Have you found that to be true in your conversations with him?
I've interacted with two old men who want to be president or are president, both Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I've interacted with both of them, and they're both of mental capacity. They would pass the mental acuity test that I passed and others do. Look, I've negotiated with President Biden on the infrastructure bill. We met in his office and talked at length on a whole series of issues. He's mentally capable, but he's older. And we've had older presidents before, from Dwight Eisenhower to FDR. I'm not afraid of people who are older being in positions of leadership. Heck, the president of my church is 99 years old. And does a fine job leading our church, so I'm okay with that. But the challenge I have with President Biden is not so much his age as his policies.
What's your biggest regret from the 2012 campaign?
Losing. I would love to win.
In 2012, you wrote in your journal that Barack Obama is gracious without genuine grace. His arrogance is breathtaking.
There's no question that Barack Obama has a high opinion of himself, and he may feel less deserved. Look, I found him to be a delightful character to be with, but I don't think he had a great deal of attention, in my opinion. Maybe he was wise not to have. I remember Bob Gates, who was served under two presidents as secretaries of their administrations. He was asked, what is the most important quality of a president of the United States? And he said, the most important quality is to recognize that you're not always the smartest person in the room. I have made my career by hiring people smarter than me, more capable than me, and learning how to listen to them, listen to people with different points of view, analyze it, synthesize it, and then choosing what I believe is the right course. I don't think Barack Obama was inclined to listen to other people, listen to himself. He listened to himself.
I want to talk about January 6th, and I did bring along just a little audio-visual aid here, but you remember this moment in the hallway where you're walking away and there's Officer Goodman that tells you to run the other way.
Yeah.
What was that day like?
That was an awful day. It's not so much because I was fearful for my life. That was not what made it such a terrible and horrific day in my life. But instead, this was an invasion of the, if you will, the temple of democracy, the symbol of the capitalists known around the world. Democratic nations around the world look up to us. We're the leader of the free world, and to have it abused as it was just disorienting and disgusting.
And I know members of your family didn't want you to come to Washington. They were worried about it.
Yeah, Anne was concerned and felt that I should not go back because Donald Trump was saying, hey, come to Washington. This is going to be a momentous occasion, and doing be safe, and I shouldn't go. And I said, well, this is a constitutional moment. This is a time when I have to be there. And one of the reasons I ran, by the way, it's like, why would a guy who run for president and lost go back and run for Senate? And one of the major reasons was I believed there was some risk that we would face a constitutional crisis, or that there would be a great need for people of stability and sobriety in the Senate. And we need more like that, not fewer. I categorized myself in that group and thought I might be needed. And that was one of the reasons I ran for Senate. So, of course, I was going to be there at a time when such a circumstance might require a person of character.
Did you have any idea it'd be tested?
I had no idea that it would be tested in the way it was. It was unimaginable to me that we would not have had sufficient forces to repel a crowd storming the Capitol. And I'm sure there'll be effort to understand how our failure was so severe.
The subtitle of the book is Reckoning. Is there a reckoning in the Republican Party?
I don't know where the party stands. But the future of the Republican Party, it depends on whether Donald Trump gets elected president again. If Donald Trump gets elected president, and I give that at this stage like 50-50 odds, I think he's the prohibitive favorite to win the nomination if he gets elected president. The party is Donald Trump. It's in every respect a reflection of his character. And I don't know how long it would take for us to shake that image. If he loses, well, of course, he'll say it was stolen, regardless of the circumstances. But if he loses, I think our party moves on. I don't know the direction it'll take, but I think it moves on to a different course.
When we come back, we talk to Mitt Romney about his life in the Senate and the influence of his father. You were elected to the Senate. You wrote a list of things you wanted to accomplish. How many of those have you gotten done?
Quite a few, but I've added a lot of things to the list. And actually, the last couple of years, up until this year, the last year, the 2 years prior to this year, I was able to be part of a negotiating group that was able to put together legislation which not only passed the Senate, but also the House and got signed by the President, so it became law. So the infrastructure bill became law. The Electoral Count Act reform became law. Marriage and religious liberty protections became law. The gun safety bill became law. The CHIPS Act, which I supported, wasn't a negotiator there, that became law. We got a lot done.
So why are you not running for re-election?
I'm of the view that I happened to be in Washington at a key time when a number of individuals, 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans, came together, negotiated, and drove through major pieces of legislation. We got a lot done. But I think those days are not there, at least given my current vision of where we are. In part because some of those individuals have left. In part because the House is far less organized today than it was even under Nancy Pelosi. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time, 6 years, getting nothing done. And also, I really do believe it's time for the next generation to step up. Look, we're crushing millennials and young people. Older people have voted for folks that will give us more and more benefits and lower our taxes and put on debt to the next generation. And the next generations don't recognize what's being put on their shoulders. We will never pay off the debt. Baby boomers, numbers we're racking up, the trillions we're racking up, we're going to be gone. So I think it's time for them to step into Washington to see see what's happening and to start screaming about the future of America and their lives.
Let's turn to your family. Their influence has always been a central part of your life. What did you learn from your dad?
My dad is my life hero. As a Republican governor, he refused to endorse the nominee of his party, Barry Goldwater, for president because he thought he was weak on civil rights and extremism. So that's the person who I try and model myself after, and I'm not quite there.
You went to the 1964 convention with your dad?
Yeah. I was up on the balcony watching my dad and seeing how he was treated. People treated him with respect, but he was not a big Goldwater bandwagon.
And when Goldwater said, extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice, and the crowd cheered, what did your father do?
It's hard for me to remember exactly what went on in 1964, but he rejected Goldwater's embrace of extremism at the John Birch Society. He felt that was wrong for the Republican Party. And I think people looked at the party then and said, oh my goodness.
Hurry and rescue him. Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA. Come on, Snake, you can do it. Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief.
Snake, that door is protected by a security system. Snake, that door is protected by a security system. It won't open without the right security card. There must be some other way to get in. Take a look around. The best way to do that is to use first-person view mode. Press the first-person view button to go into first-person view mode.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your...
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder. Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We're conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution...
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes. Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the second floor basement.
Second floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes. They cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Dead.
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you. The Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
Don't move! So you killed the chief, you bastard! Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move!
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie!
You're not one of them, are you?
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here!
Looks like we'll be a little delayed.
What are you doing? Don't think! Shoot! What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie!
I'm telling you, shoot!
Görüşürüz.
Snake, what are you doing? Take care of the bad guys and get the hell out of there. Try to pick up an enemy's fallen weapon. Snake!
Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Thanks for the help.
Wait! Who are you? You fool! You've killed him!
I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
Now we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
What's up, Snake? Snake, listen to what Lo Chi said. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. Just because you see an item doesn't mean that you always have to get it. If you don't really need it, think twice before you stick your neck out. It might not be worth it.
walls that were cemented over should look slightly different. Look at the walls carefully in first-person view mode. Try to find the walls that have a different pattern.
Did you try hitting the wall? Maybe it'll sound different too.
Those C4 explosives you've got should be able to destroy the walls that were cemented over. The walls that were cemented over President Baker should be somewhere around there. Hurry up and find him. Also, you can't use your radar there. Mei-Ling says it's because of electronic jamming. If you want to know more, ask her.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful. Be careful, Snake.
So, my friend, you want to get that beautiful platinum trophy from Metal Gear Solid? Well, you came to the right place. In this video, I'll be teaching you how you can get all the trophies/achievements in Metal Gear Solid within the Master Collection. There are 18 trophies in Metal Gear Solid. They're all straightforward, and you'll be able to get 12 of them by just completing the game. All of these trophies can be obtained on any difficulty, with the exception of the Elite Trophy, and we'll get to that later in the video. The first one, Convincing Mission, is very simple. Just start the game, and there you go. During your first playthrough, you will get a trophy for each boss you defeated throughout the game. This includes Revolver Ocelot, the M110, the Ninja, Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Persecutor.
Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
My goodness, it is an early show today, so people can be awake in the UK. Let's see about this here. Nicole is here. Sky Ricky is here. I'm just rolling up here. Jill is here. Let's see. Les is here. What's that? Les is here. Les, maybe not Les. I don't know which. Not quite sure I said that right. Les, where are you, Les? Where'd you go? Susanna's here. Kelly's here. Okay, wait a minute. I've lost you in here. Mary is here. Linda's here. It's always hard to see these whole things here. Wait a minute. What happened to you? That's you had a good question and a good comment. And Sam.
Be careful, Snake.
Am I too late? He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it.
C4.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 would blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver Ocelot. I've been waiting for you, Solid Snake. Now we'll see if the man can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver.
Alaska.
Draw! Draw! Hiding won't help you. I understand the bullets you see. I make them go where I want.
Is everything all right, Snake? Come on, Snake, you can do it.
I love to reload. All right. Alive. Let's go. Better hurry up. The old man's not gonna last too long. Don't you want to settle this? You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up.
What? My hand!
Stealth camouflage. Can't you even die right? You were lucky. We'll meet again! Who are you? I like you. I have no name. That exoskeleton.
Can you talk?
Who are you?
I'm not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Answer my question. What about your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Kind of like a psychic insulation. Everyone who knows these top-secret codes has it.
Even the DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure. In that case, how did they get your code?
I never had any training on how to resist torture.
It looks like he had some fun with you, all right.
Oh, he's not human. I tell you, he loved every second of it.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha, you're a funny man. So the DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. No, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut me up?
Calm down. What's wrong with you? I just told you I was here to save you. I didn't kill the DARPA chief. He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What? Who does then? Not the terrorists?
No, that woman.
Woman? Who?
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier, it must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her by codec. Until I was tied up here, that is.
Codec?
Yes, she stole it from the guard. If she still has it, you should be able to contact her.
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away. But tell me, if this doesn't work, is there some other way to prevent the missile launch?
You need to find Hal Emmerich, one of my employees.
Who's that?
The team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project. A genius at engineering, but a little bit of an oddball. If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to destroy Metal Gear.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been. The amount of spent nuclear fuel and plutonium is increasing even today. Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see. Because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of MUF are reported every year.
MUF?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials. Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes, and after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better than I.
Naomi?
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but... What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
What the hell?
hell? Are you listening? Now he's dead too.
I have no idea.
Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn!
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me. Get in contact with her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there. It should be okay if you do burst transmission like us, but normal transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
Snake, get a hold of yourself.
Naomi, what the hell was that ninja thing? A member of Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
What's up, Snake? Snake, like Shakespeare said, naught's had, all spent, while our desire is got, without content. Basically, it means that your desire can get you into trouble if you're not careful. That goes for items, too. Don't get too greedy or you might be sorry. Be careful, Snake.
The DARPA chief and President Baker. So now the terrorists know both detonation codes.
Yeah, and on top of that, they both died right in front of my eyes.
Snake, now that the terrorists have both detonation codes, the only way to stop a nuclear launch is to either use the detonation code release keys that Meryl's holding, or find the Metal Gear chief engineer that President Baker mentioned, Hal Emmerich. In any case, you should contact Meryl by codec. Wasn't her frequency written on the back of the CD case? First, the DARPA chief, and then President Baker die of a heart attack?
Yeah, smells pretty rotten to me. Master, do you know anything?
No, but there's definitely something going on. Keep your eyes open out there. People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer. war, a split second can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Don't ever hesitate. The slower you react, the greater the chance that you'll be beaten.